On my wedding day, my entire family skipped it for my sister's gender reveal. Not my mom, not my sister, not even my dad, who promised to walk me down the aisle. The next day, one honeymoon photo made them blow up my phone like I'd committed a felony. My sister was the golden child and everyone acted like it was a law of nature. She married the right guy and lived the kind of life my parents could brag about. I married Daniel, a comic artist with ink on his hands and zero interest in their status games. Looking back, they hated that they couldn't control the story. When we announced the engagement, my mom gave me her usual tragic sigh. Nina, honey, love doesn't pay a mortgage. My sister smirked like she was doing me a favor. I just worry you won't have a foundation. I kept wondering what she meant by foundation, because hers came with my dad's money. Then my sister scheduled her gender reveal for the exact same Saturday as my wedding. She called it a coincidence with the sweetest voice and the sharpest eyes. My family treated it like a loyalty test, and I already knew who they'd pick. Still, my dad swore, I'll be there, I'll walk you down the aisle, I'll slip out for an hour. That was the moment I realized promises were cheap in my house. The day of the wedding, my phone kept buzzing with polite little abandonments. Sorry, sweetie, your sister needs me, my mom texted. Impossible to get away, an aunt wrote. Then my dad's message landed last. It's really celebratory here. Your sister's moment matters. I stared at that line until it felt like a stamp on my forehead. 10 minutes before the ceremony, I sat alone in the side room, hands locked together so I wouldn't shake. My lipstick was done, my dress was on, and my chair next to the door was empty. Then my landlord, Mr. Davies, came in to drop off a gift. His eyes flicked to my phone, to the missed calls I'd made, to the silence they returned. I wasn't in tears. I was ice calm. Then he adjusted his suit cuffs and took one step closer. Next, he nodded at the doorway like it was settled. After that, he said, if you'll allow me, I'd be honored. Again, I blinked because my brain didn't catch up. Then he offered his arm steady and warm. Next, I hooked my fingers around it and stood. After that, we walked out and my empty side filled. My friends stood up and clapped like they actually cared. Daniel looked at me like I was the only person in the room. We got married without my family, and somehow it still felt full. After the ceremony, Mr. Davies asked about a honeymoon. I admitted we'd put our money into Daniel's bigger studio instead. Mr. Davies made one quick call. Jonathan, he said, casual and familiar. The young artist I told you about just got married. He listened, smiled, and hung up. Then he turned to us. My friend insists you take his yacht for 2 weeks, crew included. The next morning, Daniel and I stepped onto a private yacht. I posted one photo of our hands with the ocean behind us and wrote, the adventure begins. I didn't do it as revenge. I just didn't feel like hiding anymore. Within an hour, I had a flood of calls and texts. By day 3, it was hundreds, and I couldn't tell if I was more annoyed or more amused. When I finally answered, it was my mom, breathless and theatrical. Nina, where are you? We've been so worried. In the background, my sister snapped. Ask her where she got that boat. My mom's concern turned into interrogation in one breath. Is Daniel from money? Why didn't you tell us? That's when I realized they weren't calling to apologize. They were calling to find a loophole that made them right. No, I said. He's not hiding a fortune. He's just good. I told her the yacht belonged to a private philanthropist Daniel had worked for, and Mr. Davies arranged it as a wedding gift. The line went dead quiet, then my mom repeated, like the words hurt. Your landlord? I let the silence stretch, because she deserved it. Yes, I said. The man who walked me down the aisle when Dad chose confetti. My sister erupted in the background. This is a setup. She did this to humiliate us. I smiled, and it felt real. I have to go, I said. There's something I actually want to see. Then I ended the call before they could rewrite my life again. For years, my family judged my husband by ink-stained fingers and a job title they could sneer at. They skipped my wedding to bet on my sister's shiny moment, then panicked when they saw my unstable life loading just fine. Those missed calls didn't sound like love. They sounded like regret, finally realizing they backed the wrong horse.